What's up? Can you guys hear me? Nice. What's up, guys? How's it going? Kick ass day. A lot of people are saying kick ass day. Apollo pipes 20%. Wow, not bad, dude. I think my Pix transmission also went up today, if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Why is HFCL falling? I have no idea. I'm not invested in HFCL. I stayed away from it. Wow. Pix went up by 14% today. How's everyone doing? Anonymous X is saying something's trending, so I joined here. What is this about? So, Anonymous, this is Market Talk where we discuss what happened in the stock market today. Okay, let's begin. Awesome. Good day, good day. Aarti also went up today. Fuck, finally. Naveen also went up today. Did it? Oh, not much. Aarti went up today, yeah. It was a very normal day, no? Nothing great today, I would say. So the Sensex went up by 138 points. Nifty Bank up 357. It's back to 35,000. It looks like a pretty normal day, except Zomato. Right, everything was looking normal except Zomato. Happiest CDSL down 5%. Yes. Does anyone know why is it down 5%? Can any smart person tell me why is it down 5%? Yeah. Correction, profit booking, all that, all the people who are saying correction, profit booking, everything, you are right. And why is that happening? Because it went up also so much, right? So a lot of people should not look at what it is going down by when it has already gone up by a lot, right? If you look at the last 1 month return on Happiest, it had given 63% until today. 63%. Now, after 63%, if it goes down by 5% and you're feeling sad about it, then stock market is not a game where you should play. Firstly, right? Because if any stock goes up by 63% and goes down by 5% and you're getting scared about it, that is, you're not prepared for the market. If it goes down by 50% and goes up by 5% and then you're scared, yes, I can understand your concern. But if it goes up by 60% in the month and then if it goes down by 5%, as long, even if it goes down by 50% in a month and then goes down back to 50% in a month, you are still net loss zero, right? So why are you so scared? You shouldn't be so scared, correct? So I told you, in the stock market, you can't expect everything to always run upwards. It is always, there's a point where it'll rally, it'll break out, it'll go up, and then it'll go up too much and it'll consolidate. Then again, it'll wait for some time, it'll relax, take a breath, refuel its car or put it back for charging. And then after putting it back for charging, it'll again go up. That's how it is. So see, one more person said, why is Subex falling? Right? In the last 1 month, Subex has gone up by 5% after catching today's fall of 2%. So actually, it had gone up by 7%, but it is totally up by 5% in a month. Again, 5% in a month is not bad at all. Correct? If you're thinking that it is bad, it is very different. In a year, Subex has gone up by 600%. So is 2% versus 600% what is good, what is bad? That's what it would mean. So for all the people who are focused on why is something going down, understand that it has gone up first and now it is consolidating. That is why it is going down, and it is a good thing to consolidate. Trust me, if there is no consolidation, then you are getting into a big trap. If it consolidates, you should be happy, because then it consolidates, it comes back to the original price, then good result comes, and then again it will go up. Right? If it does not consolidate, it goes into a bubble, and if it goes into a bubble, it won't fall, it will crash. So you should not do that. You should stay, I mean, you should expect consolidation, and it is a good thing. So for all the people who are asking why is this going down, why is that going down, always look at how much has it given in last 1 month, and assuming that if it has not given you good returns in the last 1 month, then it's a different story. I'll agree. If it has lost you money in the last 1 month, then it's a different story. If it has gone up, don't cry about it. Now for example, Explio, right? Remember I told you guys I bought it like on Monday or Tuesday, I'm not sure, one of those days I bought it. Right after that it went down by 5% for 2 continuous days. Did you see me crying? Was I even flinching about it going down by 5% 2 days? No. Why? Because it went up by so much. I had invested at 700, 650, 700. But I didn't invest too much at that point. I invested only 30, 40 grand. Right? But then it went up to almost what? 1200, right? And then it went down by 5% twice. I said, okay, chalo, jo nikal rahe hai, nikalne do. All the people who want to sell and profit book, let them run away for me. I don't care about them, right? Because I know for a fact once all these sellers go and the price consolidates, then the buyers come back into the picture. Right, so all the people who are selling, once they are finished selling, the buyers enter. And has any today it consolidated. Now today it has consolidated and it is down by 0.67%, not 5%. So that means it has consolidated at a range of 1157 before it does the next big move. Now when it does the next big move, I am ready. Right, it will maybe do it after the next result that comes out. So I'm just waiting for the next result, and the next result is around the corner, it is not even far away. So as soon as the next result comes, let me check when is the next result coming. Oh, sad. They've already released the next result. What? Okay, then whenever the next result is, I'm assuming they have. Have they? Have they? Have they? Let me check. One sec. March, April, May, June, July. July 10th ka. No, I don't think they have. Oh no, they haven't. I don't think they've issued their July result yet. Not July, the first quarter of this. I don't think they've come out with the first quarter. So if it has not come out, and it is going to come out sometime in the next future, and if it is a good result that is coming out, then what will happen to the stock? It has to readjust. What will it readjust for? All the smart people who have been here for a very long time. If the new result comes out and if it is a good result, what will happen? It has to readjust to something in line of something. It has to readjust with respect to EPS. If it has to readjust if with re-rate, let's call it re-rate, that's the real term. EPS देख के re-rate होगा. It'll have to adjust itself back to the PE ratio. The PE ratio has to adjust again. Now currently, let me check whether the current PE ratio is, so it also rallied by 60%. Do you guys agree it rallied by 60-70% in the month? Now it is important to check, has this rallied too much? Right, let's look at the P ratio. The current PE ratio of the sector is 35, and the current P ratio of the stock is 23. So according to the sector, it is still underperforming. Right, so it is not, maybe sector is 35 and this stock is at 150. Then yes, it is a scary thing. But this is not scary. It is still in line. It is still okay. So as long as it is still okay, I am okay. So this is how I think. Okay, so when it goes down by 5%, I'm happy. Correct? When it goes down by 5%, I'm happy. So now they have released the shareholding pattern on 20th July, which is 3 days ago. They released the shareholding pattern. Now, after they release the shareholding pattern, is when they usually come out and release the result. So I'm just waiting. Abhi aa jayega, around the corner the result is. So let's wait for the result. And as soon as the result come, what if they announce a buyback, right? Which is also on the cards anytime soon. Why? Because they have cash flow positive. So with so much cash flow, only two things can happen. Actually, three things can happen with the cash flow, right? One is buyback. Do you agree? One is bonus. Actually, four things can happen. If you have too much cash flow in your bank account, you can do buyback, which requires money. You can do bonus, which requires money. Split does not mean you need to have money in the bank account. Split is completely different. Split is a zero sum game. For all the people who don't understand what split is, nothing happens when a split happens. Okay. Bonus, you require money. Dividend, you require money. Buyback, you require money. Split, you don't require money. Or the fourth thing, they can't do capex. Why? Because they're an IT company. This company I'm talking about is an IT company. Correct. So this won't have a capex. Even if it's capex, it'll be, capex is capital expenditure, like building a machinery or building a manufacturing plant. But the company we're talking about is an IT company. The maximum capex they will do is to get a new office and hire more employees because they work on attrition rate. Right? OPEX is operating expense. So what will the IT company do with a lot of free cash flow? What will IT company do with a lot of free cash flow? So you should know how to do all this. Why will they do rights issue? They have free cash flow. Rights issue is raising more funds. Why will they raise more funds and issue more stock? So that's what I'm just saying. What all things they can do, right? We don't know what they will do, but I'm just seeing what are the things they can do. They can give a bonus. If they give bonus, stock price buyback, stock price will go up. Agreed. They give dividends, stock price will go down, but you'll get money in your bank account. Great. But they've already given dividend in March, so giving another dividend now seems highly unlikely. Yes. The fourth thing that they can do, IT companies do, with when they have a lot of free cash flow, for a lot of people who don't know, is they try to do inorganic expansion. Do you guys know what inorganic expansion is when it comes to IT companies? How does an IT company do inorganic expansion? No? Okay. So, yes, Balaji Gupta is right. It's called acquisitions. Correct. So, IT companies grow by two methods. One is organic growth and one is inorganic growth. Right? Organic growth basically means, I'm just Dishant, I'm not talking currently about a particular company. I'm talking about IT companies as a whole because they're rallying a lot. So IT companies, they do either organic growth. Organic growth means I have a sales team. We just cracked a new deal with some company in Germany for a $30 million contract, $40 million contract. मैं पैसा कमा रहा हूँ. Simple deal. Inorganic growth means I go and acquire a small IT company that is making $5-6 million in revenue, and as soon as I acquire it, the $5-6 million revenue now suddenly comes into my bank account. Right now, it comes into my profit. If it comes into profit, it goes to EPS. If it goes to EPS, then what happens? The P ratio adjusts, then the stock price starts going up, and then you win at the end of the day. So that is how IT companies grow. And why do IT companies do acquisitions? Very important question. Do you know why IT companies do acquisitions? What allows them to do acquisitions is because IT companies are a high margin business. Correct, because their biggest expense is their employees, so their profit, their cost of giving a particular service is less, so they have a lot of cash flow, they have a lot of money in their bank account. Now the best way to put that money in their bank account is to acquire companies. So acquisition for them is equal to capex for manufacturing firms. The only difference is when you do capex in a manufacturing firm, it takes 2 years to set up the plant and become fully operational, and utilization is maximum, and then you see the revenues kicking in the top line. Whereas if you look at IT companies, when they do acquisition, within a quarter you can see the top line growth happening. That is why IT companies are considered the golden babies. And if you look at IT companies, every IT company, right, over a long period of time, you look at any IT company that's doing well, you'll always see they'll have a lot of cash flow in their bank account. Be it Happiest Minds, be it Mastech, be it Infobeans, be it Explio, be it Infosys, be it TCS, HCL, Wipro, massive Mindtree, Tata Elxsi. Look at all of them. High margin business. High margin business, lot of money, KPIT, put it back and buy it. Birla Soft. And if you look at all of these IT companies in the past, you will see over a 5 year return period, they would have all given you good returns. So that is how it is. IT companies don't do well, right? IT companies don't do well when the dollar rate is doing bad. When the dollar rate is bad, when dollar Indian currency becomes stronger, IT companies do bad. Actually, they don't do bad, but they're not rallying or trending too much, right? Because there's a lot of loss that they incur. So that is what it is. So IT companies are very good in that way. The only person who can destroy an IT company is another IT company. Correct? The only way an IT company can lose is when another IT company comes and poaches a company. So, do you know what is the one thing that is looked at in an IT company the most? It is not the profit and loss. It is not, apart from the profit and loss, apart from the P&L, there is one very important thing that they look at when it comes to IT companies. Do you know what it is? Yep, Balaji is right. It is called attrition rate. Attrition rate, it is very 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 important when it comes to IT companies. What is attrition rate? Attrition rate is the number of people leaving your business, leaving your company and going. For example, I am a employee of say Infosys today. I'm Shashank Goduppa, IT head of Infosys. I'm currently working on a product project with one company in the United States. Okay, just assume my job is to write some line of code for some company in United States. Okay, now I am an employee of Infosys. Infosys has signed the deal with this US company. But now what happens is if Infosys is not keeping me happy, if they don't give me perks, if they don't make me feel special, like if they don't give me promotion, what will I do? I'll be like, you know what, I don't like this. Wipro's giving me a better deal. Let me go to Wipro. Okay. Churning rate is different, Ambuj. Churning rate is for customers and this is for employees, right? So if I get a better package from say Wipro, I will leave and go to Wipro. Now what happens in an IT company when I leave? Do you know what happens in an IT company when I leave? First of all, they have to find a replacement. Okay, easy. Okay, they'll have so many people on bench, they'll find a replacement. But the second problem here when you find a replacement is that coding is not that simple that some new guy will come, say Rahul will come and sit in my seat and continue from where I left off. So there is something known as you have to, once Rahul sits on my desk, he first has to understand my code. Then there is a handover period. Then he has to familiarize himself with what the customer wants. Right? Again, that knowledge transfer has to happen. No, yes, knowledge transition has to happen. All of that takes at least 15 days. At least 15 days. 2 weeks to lagega hi. The 2 weeks is basically the loss, right? And the IT company does not get extra money for the 2 weeks. But if I was there for 2 weeks and the IT company kept me happy for 2 weeks, then I would everything would work smoothly. So that is why attrition rate is very 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 important. So if a company has high attrition rate, then the projects cannot go down smoothly. The projects will do bad. Now if the projects does bad, the clients will be like, you know what, 100 times you've changed this guy on our current project. First it was Rahul, then it was Manjunath, now it is Venkatesh, tomorrow it will be Sairam, whatever. Right? There are some 15 people you've put in the project of 1 year. So it is not considered good, right? Any client would be like, dude, get lost. I don't like this nonsense. So that is why attrition rate in IT companies are very important. Just this is all understanding of how basically at the end of the day it's just simple business, to understand. If you are running an IT company, this is simple business. But I'm just trying to understand how people analyze in the market. This is how people analyze. Understood? Any questions? Any doubts? You understand the workings of IT? So if you open any investor presentation, if you open any investor presentation of an IT company, they will highlight attrition rate and say, see, we are so low. See, we are so good. We don't have so much attrition rate. That way. समझे कि नहीं समझे? Okay, awesome. Cool, guys. Next. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Zomato. Like a lot of people call it. It's actually Zomato, but Zomato. So, Zomato, okay, firstly, when it launched today, it went up to what, 136, 80% up, right? Zomato went up by 80% in the morning. I was stunned. I was like, what the hell? Right? By the way, the listing, the what IPO price was 76, grey market premium was 23. तो 100 rupees पे तो लिस्ट होना चाहिए, but 100 rupees से कुछ ज़्यादा ही हुआ. So all the people who bought in what do you call that? All the people who bought in gray market got around 26% return, and all the people who got in the IPO got approximately 60% return. Yes. So both of them were happy. Everyone is happy. But did you guys, and look at the volume? Do you know what the volume of Zomato was today? I only have to calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 69 crores. What 1 crore? Ravindra. 69 crores was the volume today. 69 crore transactions have happened today. 69 crore transactions. Buying and selling. 69 crore transactions. Who's going to win with this 69 crores? Connect the dots. With 69 crores extra volume. Huh? This is extra, by the way. It is not normal volume. This is extra volume. If this month was going normally, right, if this month was going normally without Zomato listing, this would have never kicked in. This is how you connect the dots, right? 69 crore volume has happened. Who wins? समझे? Broker तो definitely won. Broker तो 100% won it, right? They're तो going to win only. 69 crores worth of volume. I think Zerodha had the highest with respect to Zomato, right? Lot of applications went through Zerodha. अगर जीरोधा में अच्छा लिस्टिंग हुआ तो दे विन. देन CDSL depository 69 lakhs, it has changed hands left and right, it has changed hands, both sides depositories involved. You get it? Zerodha also works with CDSL. So Zerodha has a tie-up with CDSL for all the people who didn't know. That is why CDSL is doing well. And also CDSL has a unique advantage over NHDL because NHDL currently works with a lot of B2, I mean, a lot of HNI clients and big clients, right? They don't come to B2C, which is they don't come to consumer, whereas CDSL is working with everyone which has a consumer facing thing. So unless NHDL goes consumer facing, NHDL won't win against CDSL. CDSL will still have the upper hand. Yeah, Zerodha is a depository participant of CDSL. Yes. How much did Grow made? God knows. We don't know how much they make. No, they're not listed for us to know exactly how much they made. Yeah, but if Zerodha was listed today, right? If Zerodha was a listed company today, I would definitely go pick up Zerodha because I know next quarter Zomato's influence would come there and they would release some nice dividend, right? Correct? Got it. So always think about, you see the volume and you're like, okay, wow, 69 crore volume, but always connect the dots and figure out 69 crore volume, theek hai, how can I take advantage of this? Always think about how you can take advantage of it. Yeah, if Zerodha comes, I'll definitely buy Zerodha because I don't know who will come and beat Zerodha in the future. Now leave that. Vodafone Idea is even higher. Maybe, I don't know. 69 crores se bhi higher. Let me check Vodafone Idea. I don't think it. Oh my god, yes, you're right, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 114. 114 crores. But again, that's at 8 rupees. See the difference. 8 rupees and 114 crore transactions, or 126 rupees and 69 crore transactions. If you calculate the weighted average volume, uh, Zomato would still win. And also, Vodafone's volume is so high, it's because a lot of people do intraday trading in Zomato. Huh? Insane amount of intraday trading of Zomato. Not Zomato. Why I'm getting confused like this? Vodafone Idea. So वो भी होता है, इंट्राडे बहुत होता है Vodafone Idea में. So yeah, that is something that is there. Crazy, you know, guys. Yeah. So my coming back to my point. Hey, by the way, ITC went up by 2.61%. Congratulations. वो भी कभी हुआ 12 o'clock के बाद. It's like it had some good day biscuit and just went flying. But this has done in the past again. You know, it goes up and comes down, goes up and comes down. Okay, let's come back to the point of Zomato. Yes, Zomato, guys. Let me tell you one more interesting factor. How many of y'all bought Zomato today after it got listed? I want to know that first. How many of y'all went and bought Zomato after it got listed? Sai Kumar is there. Nishant is there. I'm not talking about all the people who have allotment. Allotment is fine. Allotment is, you're still lucky. See, allotment, whoever got, I would say you're very lucky. Why? Because you're already up 65%. So if you're up 65%, then unless it goes down by 65%, you're still at no loss, no profit. You haven't lost your money. So allotment वाले ठीक है, but जो अब भी खरीदा, आज fresh entry लिया, 126, 127, who all took money right now? Okay. So for all the people who took it right now because of FOMO, right? For all the people who took it right now because of FOMO, did you guys check what the market cap of Zomato was? Did you guys check what the market cap of Zomato was, or were you just looking at 126 rupees to 129 rupees? For the people who are all who bought it today, Sai Kumar, I think Sai was there, right? Who bought it? Sai, did you check the market cap today? 1 lakh crore. Okay. Now it is at 98,849, 1 lakh crore. Now, do you think this 1 lakh crore और कितना ऊपर जाएगा when it is a loss making company? Do you think it will hit 2 lakh crore anytime soon? Do you think it will hit 1 lakh 50,000 crore anytime soon? It'll take anytime soon. Okay, let me rephrase it. Would it hit 1 lakh 50,000 within a span of 1 year? Okay, some people saying yes, some people saying no. My question is, can you guys predict what will happen in the next quarter result? Loss, down. Okay, I'll tell you what will happen in the next quarter result. Okay, next quarter result will look good. Can someone tell me why? Next quarter result will look good. For all the people who are watching my Instagram will know this reason. Why what is IPO? Explain little more. What is IPO? IPO हुआ तो next quarter result अच्छा कैसा होगा? No, capital raised will not make it. Capital raised से result से क्या मतलब? Okay, yeah, they raised whatever money, right? But they raised it for other purposes. है ना? Correct. Think about it. For all the people who saw my Instagram, there's a very good story of how cash flow affect होगा, but revenue EPS, will that change? Will it change because of IPO? Debt reduction. I don't think they had that kind of a debt. Did they have that kind of a debt? No. Think. For all the people who watch it on Instagram, who I recently put, okay, I'll tell you, Tata Timkin video. For all the people who saw the Tata Timkin video, you will understand this, that when Tata Timken had come out with their IPO, they were oversubscribed 4,000 times. Okay, whatever. This was also oversubscribed by how many times? Do you know how much Zomato was raising? Does anyone know how much money Zomato was raising? Total amount of money Zomato was raising, 9,300 crores. Okay, let's do simple math. 9,375 crores. Okay, and let's do another math. 9,375 crores. How much did they get oversubscribed by? Do you guys know? How many times did Zomato get oversubscribed? Total, I'm not talking about only retail allocation or whatever. Total oversubscription was how much? Total oversubscription, I think, was around 10 times, right? 10.7. I'm not talking about retail, guys. Overall. I think overall, yeah, 10.8 times. Overall was 10.8 times. Wait, let me just check. 38 times was, I don't think 38 was subscribed. Was it actually 38 times? Yeah, it was actually 38 bloody times. Okay, yeah. Chalo, 38 times. So that means they got a cash of 9,375 into 38. Is that right? Correct? Into 38. कर लेते ना एक बार देख लेते what is it. So that is a total of 3,56,000 crores only. 3,56,000 crores only. Okay. Now 3,56,000 crores. Okay. What happens is it's sitting in the bank account for how many days? There's a very good, interesting math lesson for a lot of people. It was sitting in the bank account for how many days? Until the refund process happened. It'll sit in the bank account until the refund process happens. Let's assume 1 week, right? 1 week. Now, what is the liquid fund rates right now going on? Because the rates are low right now. Liquid fund rate is, I think, ultra short term duration rate is maybe 4% a year. Okay, 4% a year. It's very low right now. 4 to 4.5% a year. So let's do that. Into 4% is a year. Okay, that is 14,250 crores on a yearly basis, not on a great massive basis, but 14,250 crores on a yearly basis. Now that you divide it by say 12, okay, to get the monthly rate. Monthly rate is 1,187 crores in interest, correct? Then we'll divide it by 4 times to see how much they're getting per week. So around 300 crores extra they would have got, guys, approximately 300 crores extra interest revenue they would have got. Now where does this 300 crores go? How does it come in the company's books of accounts? Do you guys know? Where will it come in the company's books of accounts? Other income. Other income. It's not core income, obviously not core income. अदर इनकम. ना अभी अदर इनकम में 300 crores आ गया एंड ऊपर का रेवेन्यू अच्छा दिख रहा है. अदर इनकम 300 crores आ गया. सो सडनली नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर रिजल्ट, योर लॉस विल सडनली लुक लेस इवन इफ देर इज लॉस. इफ द लॉस इज नो, ईपीएस तो रहेगा ही नहीं ना, बिकॉज देर इज नो अर्निंग्स पर शेयर. इट इज अ लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी, right? So if it is it's negative EPS. So if it is minus 100 crore, 1,000 crore company, it will become minus 700 crores, correct? Very interesting, no? So let's see. I don't know. These are all assumptions. These are all assumptions, right? But either which way, whether you catch this 300 crores, assume that this did not happen. Assume that this also did not happen. Chhod do. Correct? All of this you leave. Let's just look at Zomato on a normal to normal basis. If you forget all of this, next quarter the result is still going to be negative. Okay, but they will move, they will keep saying we are going towards profitability. Are you right? Because if Zomato becomes profitable on some day, it will become one of the biggest companies. The share price will go flying if it becomes net profit positive, correct? But you know that will take time. Now what will happen is it's moving towards this profitability, but there are two people in the ecosystem right now that don't want Zomato to become profitable. In fact, they will not ensure that they will ensure that Zomato does not become profitable. Do you know how that works? One sec, guys, internet fluctuating. Yeah, so Amazon and Swiggy will suddenly start doing more unless Swiggy also comes out. Okay, assume Swiggy also came out with an IPO tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, right? Swiggy also came out with IPO, Zomato also came out with IPO. Now, when two companies have come out with IPO, two of the biggest companies, do you know that in an IPO, the market will not forgive if you don't make good business? Do you guys know that? Do you guys understand that? The market will not forgive you if you don't make good revenues. One second, let me just rejoin. Yeah, can you guys hear me now? Yeah. So both Swiggy and Zomato, if they come out with an IPO tomorrow, both of them have to keep doing really well and start moving towards profitability. Now, if they move towards profitability, then discounts will get lower, marketing expenses will get lower, सब कुछ कम होता जाएगा, correct? Then If that happens, it is very prime time for a new player to come inside the game and destroy both of them. So all in all, what I'm saying is, it doesn't look very attractive in my eyes, right? It doesn't look very attractive. I'm not saying it is not a historic moment, right? Zomato, a homegrown company from ground up, massive respect to the founder to build such a big company. And even today, I think he put out a shareholding letter to all the people, a newsletter to all the people, saying that, I don't know whether we'll succeed or fail, but we will try our best, right? Which is great. Like, from a founder to hear that is amazing. And I'm pretty sure he will try his best to give shareholders the best returns, correct? But I'm only worried about his competition. Will they allow him to give the best to the shareholders? That is my concern. Will they let him do his stuff? Because if Zomato focuses on getting shareholder returns, and abhi pehle jaisa, they can't go raise money when they want to. Now they can't go suddenly raise another round of funding. पहले तो easy है, अभी नहीं हो सकता. Now today, if they want more money, guys, think about this. All comes back to the main point. Today, if Zomato wants to raise more money, what will they do? Suddenly there's another big war. They need to build a war chest. What will they do? FPO, or maybe raise some kind of debt, or maybe raise debt, corporate debt, or release more shares, or issue more shares and raise more money, or take more loan from the bank, because now their equity is solid, right? They'll raise more money from the bank. Also, they have a war chest now of 8,600. Either which way, are all these things good for the company? Whether it is long term debt, whether it is OFS, whether it is bonds, bond is also a debt. Either which way, is it good for the company? No, not that good. The best thing would be the best. Okay, let's look at the best case scenario. What is the best case scenario? The best case scenario is Zomato just raised a lot of money, 9,300 crores. The best case scenario, they start optimizing their expenses so that they don't have a lot of expenses. They increase their profit margins and they start moving towards profitability. In an ideal world, right? In a realistic, perfect world, they will just move towards profitability and suddenly become profitable. And once they become profitable, they'll make nice net profit after tax, which will also increase your EPS. And if it increases your EPS, Zomato will become much bigger and bigger. This is best case scenario, right? कि हाँ, अभी IPO हो गया, अभी तुम धंधा चलाओ, अच्छा धंधा करो, focus on profitability dhanda, and let's do that. But to focus on profitability dhanda, they have to hit volume and increase the price. Correct? They have to increase the price and lower cost and increase volume at the same time. How can you increase volume by lowering cost? Very difficult, because you have to spend marketing dollars to increase your base. Now, if you increase your cost of goods sold, increase delivery charge or increase your transaction fee, then people will go to Swiggy. So you see how everything is so linked. Yeah, they have to diversify business, or they have to find a way to get into some kind of business which is more margin driven. If you look at Amazon, when they did the e-commerce marketplace, Amazon, I don't think e-commerce section makes a lot of, like, it's a very low margin business, e-commerce section, correct? Very low margin business. But then Amazon entered the cloud computing space with AWS, massively high margin business, right? Then Amazon just entered everything else after that, all high margin. IT पे घुस गया यार, IT is high margin, and Amazon e-commerce marketplace low margin business. Now if you look at Amazon Prime, that is high loan business, because it is high upfront cost for long term, whatever, monthly subscription, correct? So they are into multiple businesses, subscription based, high margin and low margin. AWS is like the market, like it's the disruptor, yes, but margins for AWS is good, no? So if Zomato comes out with ZWS tomorrow, definitely Zomato will do very well. Their margins will automatically go up. Why? Because it is a high margin business. But again, that's not something that will happen. But they need to find out some high margin business. So the only high margin business in the food sector is when you sell food by yourself, right? But again, for you to sell food by yourself, which we spoke about in one of the videos, which is Zomato Kitchens, right? To become an established player in Zomato Cloud Kitchen, to become an established player, How many years will that take? Minimum 1 year, maybe 2 years max. एक साल तो लगेगा ही to become an established market dominant player. Minimum 1.5 years. So अगर minimum 1.5 years दूर है तो till then I will catch another fast train and sit, and then I'll hop on to Zomato's train once it's moving towards profitability. Simple. But then if Swiggy comes out with their Swiggy kitchens, then usme bhi competition. God knows where to even find any anything to happen, to be honest. If Swiggy comes in Swiggy kitchens, then again there's a discount war in this cloud kitchen also. So now you know how difficult it is to run a business for all the people who think it is so easy. हम तो cloud kitchen डाल देंगे और पैसा कमा लेंगे. Anything you turn in finance, it's like a tap. You switch on one tap, it floods somewhere else. Right? You can't keep getting money. Every action in finance has an equal and opposite reaction. One of Newton's law applied in finance. Every financial action has an equal and opposite financial reaction. That's my law. That's what I'm saying, right? This is my third law. Every financial action has an equal and opposite financial reaction. So please be careful about it. Right? So always understand अगर ये हुआ तो दूसरा साइड में क्या होगा. Cool guys, I'm tired now. Very tired. Chalo, ठीक है. Was it a good session? Did you guys enjoy it? Had fun? Awesome. Shashank's law of finance. Yeah. So today, by the way, the Subex video is coming out for all the people who don't know. The Subex video is coming out today. I mean, it's already on Premiere, so you can watch it when it launches. I don't know when it's launching. 7 p.m. I think, right? Or someone said, yeah, I think 7 p.m. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, 7 p.m. today. Subek's video is coming out. Then Sunday we have Anil Lamba's video coming out. Trust me, that is something that you should bloody watch. Uh, I was shocked when I was in awe. Basically, I was like, "ये सब कैसा हुआ? This is so much thing for me." Small case review will come at the end of this month, which is next week. I will put out the small case review somewhere around Thursday. I'll do it on Thursday so that Friday, worst case, you can do anything. Paid small case ही बना लो. I am not a SEBI registered advisor to do paid small case, or else I would have definitely done. In fact, after looking at the returns, I'm like I should have charged 99 rupees a month for everyone to use my small case. I would have taken that money and invested back into my small case only. Imagine that. Recompound my own compounding. That would have been so cool. uh, no man, it's okay. See, I don't want, see, the thing is, I have a very different take in life, right? I have two takes in life. And this is what I don't understand from a lot of other people as well. So there's two things, right? If I want to make money from my audience, I have to take money from my audience. How do I take money? By doing all this. Maybe charge for something, charge here, charge there, but there's a different thrill in giving free to people. And I'm not saying I'm not earning money, right? There's a different thrill in giving free to people. It's a simple tap. It's the same thing as tap, right? Now, if I'm giving free something to a lot of people, then brands will sponsor me for it. So I take money from people who already have money, so that I don't have to take money from people who need the money and who have to compound the money. But if the brands don't pay me money tomorrow, then I have to go and take it from the people. It's a simple logic. So either I take money from the people who already have loads of money, great, because then I'm happy, you are happy, and they are happy. So then you don't get charged anything. I'm happy because I'm giving my educational content as well. So I'm not compromising on my integrity or whatever that ethic, whatever that is, integrity and something else. And they're also winning because they can reach your audience. So maybe the audience has to look at 90 seconds of some brand promoted post. Okay, 90 seconds, but they get the 30-minute video for free. Number one, that is number one, right? The second offset here is, if the brands don't pay, right, then how can a creator keep doing for free? Then what happens, you will see a lot of creators asking the audience for help. Okay, you know what, I'm doing a session tomorrow, come. Okay, I'm doing a workshop, or I'm doing a course, or I'm doing something, or I'm doing something else, and it's a paid thing. Correct? So that is the offset. So the reason I can give a lot of things for free is because I take money from the people who have money, right? If I don't have that, then I'll have to ask everyone else for money, which I don't like it. So it's very simple. Like PR Sundar, yes, exactly. So PR Sundar, I think what he does this market talk where he gets sponsored by 5paisa.com. Do you guys know that? Every time he does this pre-market and post-market. Now, does it affect the end user whether it's 5 paisa ka kuch ho raha hai? And what he talks about it in the first 1 second, he says, "Hello, this is PR Sundar, and today we will look at Market Talk, sponsored by 5paisa.com." That's it. That's all he says. How many seconds was that? 15 seconds. And he has one sticker on his laptop, right? But because of that 15 seconds, only because of that 15 seconds, he can actually give you guys so much content for free, correct? So it is a win for you, win for him, and win for 5 paisa. So it's yeah, he's damn bloody calm. No wonder he's like a very good options trader, bro. अच्छा आज नीचे गया, no problem, कल ऊपर जाएगा. I'll be like panicking, oh my god, shit, I took a wrong call option. अभी ऊपर जाएगा कि नहीं, level break हो गया, नीचे चला गया. This is PR Sundar, and today we will talk about, dude, it's insane, it's mad. Like 1x 1.5x speed is the normal speed I talk in. Like it's that difference, right? Not making fun of him, definitely not making fun of him, but I'm just showing people how it works, right? Because I've seen a lot of people in the audience, trash creators for saying, oh my god, you did a sponsored post, or oh my god, you spoke about a brand for bloody 30 seconds in the video. How can you do this anyay, or how can you do this bad things? And I'm like, dude, is are they telling you to do something? Are they taking money from you to do this? I saw this recently, by the way. If you go to Rachana Ranade's videos recently, people are abusing her, dude, right? People are abusing Rachana Ranade, saying you're doing a lot of promoted posts. And I saw that entire video. I saw a video where she had done some includes paid promotion video. Let me tell you, 30 minutes of that video was content. 30 minutes of that video was education, right? 90 seconds out of the 30-second video was a sponsored post, and I couldn't care less, because am I paying something to do that sponsored post? No, right? I don't know which video. I mean, she does a lot of videos, but I'm saying, because she's doing that is because of that sponsored post, or someone's giving her money to do that, I can watch that video for free. You know how easy it is for her to just be like, you know what, if you want to watch this video, you have to join my YouTube community, which is 399 rupees a month. I'm not saying she does that, she also does that, but I'm saying there is so much free education given out. So appreciate that, instead of you know saying, why is this person doing this post, or why is that person doing. I get very sad, I feel very sad for people who do that, to be honest. I'm like, bechara itna mehnat kar raha hai. A lot of people think it's very easy to be a content creator. It is so difficult. Anish will understand, because now Anish is getting into that game quite recently. And Anish will tell you it's very difficult, guys, to get into, I mean, to become a content creator, always staying on top. Now, I have to shoot 5 videos. For that, my mindset of shooting has to be there. It's not an easy job. Then there's mistakes you make. Then you have to again do the same video again, and after that you have to do retake after retake after retake. Uske baad you have to bloody sit and edit, and then you post that video. After all that, you post that video. Uske baad audience comes and says, this is wrong, that is stupid, you're stupid. Dude, it's insane. It's a very hectic world. Oh, I would love to do a podcast with PR Sundar. I would love it. Like crazy. I would be so happy. I would literally, hey guys, this is Connecting the Dots podcast with PR Sundar. Then PR Sundar will give his interview as well. Hey guys, I am PR Sundar. Is that guy legit? I think he is, to be honest. I would say, I mean, from what I know, I think he is good, because he literally opened all his bank accounts and showed. I mean, not bank accounts, but whatever the revenue of each company, he opened it and he actually showed it. Right? Not many people do that. A lot of people say, show me your live portfolio, show me this, show me that. That's very stupid, first of all, because someone's doing a lot of trading and all that. They don't expect, I mean, it's up to them, right? That's a personal angle as well. In fact, even the small case that I had done, by the way, do you guys know how risky that was to even do it? Right? Do you guys know how risky that was that I did that? Now let's take another scenario. Let's take another situation. If I had put out 8 or 10 stocks in a small case. I'll tell you why. If I No, no, not about SEBI. I'm not bothered about SEBI because the small case is only for educational purpose. I just showed you what I invested in. It's only for educational. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, imagine in Feb when I did the video in Feb when I opened my thing and I showed what I was doing. I actually showed some 8 stocks or whatever. Now, what if that had gone down by 25% today? What would everyone's opinion be? Right? Like someone said, is he legit? Everyone would be like, dude, he's not legit. He's stupid, right? His open portfolio of small case is down 25%. Right? He's stupid, he's idiot, he's useless. Then whatever legitimate gyan I give also, right? If I had to give legitimate gyan also, nobody would look at it. Nobody will be like, this guy is smart. They'll be like, this guy is stupid. Because why? His small case down by 25%. So that is why I said no. Remember in one of the episodes I said कि अभी जो है अलग है, right? I want to see who sticks by me, which audience sticks by me in a bear market. That is the fun, because bear market is the toughest market, right? It is the most toughest market. In fact, there you try to make revenue, 9 times out of 10 you will lose money, one time you might make money because the entire market is going down. And being a long term investor in the bear market, you are more likely to be negative than positive, firstly, right? But all I'm saying is it was so risky that I did an open portfolio like that, and it's still profitable. Now tomorrow, if it goes down, because I last market video only I said कि अभी जिसको book करना है profit book करो, जिसको enjoy करना है enjoy करो, whatever it is. Now I will not take any guarantee because I said I'll get 20% in a year. I worked towards 20% in a year. It became 40%. My job is done. अभी जिसको अगर उंगली करना है या कीड़ा करना है, then it's up to them, right? My job is like I did an open thing. Now if today if you tell me, Shashank, do one more new small case, dude, I'll be very scared, right? I'll be very scared. If you tell me today do one, I'll be very scared, right? Because I'm like, अभी सोच मैंने अगर ना एक नया वाला किया, imagine I did a new one right now. What if it fell? What if one bear market started as soon as it did it and it all crashed down? Now I understand it's a bear market. You understand it's a bear market. I will just be like, keep investing more and more. Average it. This is the best time to average. But after averaging, it'll go down even more. It'll average and you go down even more. It'll average, you go down even more. For 1 year, it'll go down. All the people will think I'm trash. They were like, isko kuch aata nahi, it just keeps going, right? Why? People won't understand that after the bear market gets over, when I've averaged it so much below with so much money and I've averaged it downwards, and when the bull market starts, those guys will be nowhere, right? The amount of money that you will make after that is insane. But do you guys have the patience to listen to it for one patience to keep it for 1 year? No idea. Who knows? So that is the problem, right? That is the problem. So temperament, as someone said today, right at the start of the session, is CDSL going down, or why is happiest minds going on? How, like, I don't understand how, right? Because it's gone up by 60% in a month, it can go down by 5%. Allowed है यार, मतलब ठीक है, थोड़ा ऊपर गया, अभी थोड़ा नीचे जा रहा है, दोनों टेस्ट कर रहा है. But you can't expect it to only go up, right? Time to go up. It's a slow game. A lot of people don't understand it's a slow game. Um, but yeah, that's how it is. So coming back to the point is, when people do that, like when I saw Rachana Ranade getting trashed like that, I felt very bad about it. That I'm like, dude, she's giving so much. She's giving you so much knowledge. She's changed so many people's lives. And she's not even asking you for money, but you still shout at her for her making money off someone else and not you. So it's completely okay. 90 seconds देख लो ना क्या, you don't even have to see it. You can skip it. Literally skip it. She's put a timestamp over there for you to skip it. You don't want to see that sponsored thing, don't see. Switch, skip it. Directly go to the next point. No, it's not a forced full watch, or it's not like you have to watch that, but you can always fast forward and go ahead. But still people get angry when someone does a sponsored post. I don't understand why, right? It's very sad. If she doesn't do that, then she will have to ask you guys money for doing everything. So it's, no, ignore such people. Yeah, I don't care at all. So I have this theory, boss, very simple. If someone, whether I put on YouTube or Instagram, I have a very simple logic. Okay, if someone abuses me or someone says bad things in the comments, I instantly delete and block them forever. Before it even enters my mind, I delete and block them forever. Because if someone can be toxic on one post, that person will definitely be toxic for the next post and the next post after that and the next post after that. And there are enough people that I can touch their lives, and I don't need one or two people like this. I think my Instagram currently has a ban 100 people, right? But in the grand scheme of things, 100 people are nothing. It's okay, right? So if YouTube doesn't do that, I will delete it. Simple. Because I don't want to see, I'll tell you what happens when there's bad comments. No, people see a good video, right? They'll like the video, then they'll read that bad comment, and if they read that bad comment, they feel that the video is bad, right? And they go against all the logic of learning, and it impacts your learning. That is what it's like saying you sit in a class, there's a teacher explaining you something, maybe he really taught you something really well, and you know you have this friend who's just leaning back with his legs on the table, be like, अरे stupid teacher, इसको कुछ पता ही नहीं है. Then you'll be like, हाँ ये सही है, मतलब maybe he is a stupid teacher who doesn't know anything. So that's how it works, right? So it's in, so it's okay. Maybe I'll make 120k subscribers minus 20k people I'll block. I'll be very happy with 100 good subscribers, right? That's, I mean, whatever. So I'm very different that way. I don't entertain negativity, because I have to do a lot of things, I have to teach a lot of things, and I don't have time to bother myself with negativity. So it's very simple. But I should consider making a podcast with PR Sundar. Like, it would be crazy, because I definitely have good respect for him. कर रहा है, hustler है, been there, done that, doing it, teaching. Whoever's teaching people, know, I respect it. Whether they take money, don't take money, whatever it is, as long as you're teaching. I actually reached out to Rachana ma'am, but I think her team said she'll only be free after August 15th. So a lot of time for that. Hopefully it goes through. I've asked her to come on a podcast, but she said August 15th ke baad reconnect karo. Busy people. So yeah. I got an interview with one guy from the founder of Rage Coffee. If you guys have heard Rage Coffee, um, so she's so yeah, I'm meeting the founder of Rage Coffee. Just got a confirmation yesterday, so that is happening as well. Small case founder also is happening next month. So yeah, lot of small case founder के साथ भी मिल गया. Mostly grow founder के साथ भी होने वाला है. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Variku didn't reply to me. See, I'm very down to earth and shameless at the same time. I have no ego. I will just message anyone saying, "Boss, I want to do a podcast." Right? I don't care if someone's at 150k or 1 million or even 10 followers. Um, so I don't care. मेरा job है पूछना, उन लोग का काम है reject करना. So my job is Neeraj Arora. I asked. He said we'll do one. But he wants to do it on YouTube. So let me see how I can do this. He already said yes. So let me see. SOIC. I don't know how to reach out to him. Tanmay, but not now. I'll do definitely one day with him. But I won't do it like only me and him. I'll do it with everyone, like me, Tanmay, Varun, all of us together. He's also very busy, man. Tanmay Bhatt's also very busy. SOIC guys, I don't have it, man. But he's smart. I don't know where to reach out to him also. I think I'll have to go to YouTube and find him. Let's see. Twitter and Ish Mohit Arora. Okay, I'll check. Must karta hai yaar. He does really, really good stuff. Like, a lot of thought process. You guys should find out more people, and if you have connections, you guys should ensure that we get connected, so that I can do a podcast with them and put it out for everyone to watch, right? So if you guys have connections with a lot of people, you guys should do that as well, right? ठीक है, चलो लंबा सेशन हो गया, टॉपिक से थोड़ा बहक गए. But anyhow, the market had a good day today, so I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Today Subek's video will come out at 7 p.m. So I hope you guys like it. Tomorrow I will come live on Instagram at 7 p.m. Who am I coming live with? A person called Vijay Nihal Chandani. Call 7 p.m. with him, and then on Sunday the Anil Lamba video is coming out, which you should defo watch. Insane, right? Anyhow, see you guys soon. By the way, I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. Whatever stocks I spoke about is not a recommendation to buy. It is just for educational purposes. So please, uh, please only learn as much as you can. Yeah. Thank you guys. Bye.